Hello again. I wanted to make a quick video talking a little bit about something I picked up over Thanksgiving. It is early in the morning, so my voice might have a little bit of a morning voice. So I wanted to quickly talk about Balcones Texas Single Malt, and this is actually a single barrel store pick from a Total Wine. Now, I know Total Wine kind of has this reputation of bad picks. I don't have a lot of experience with them personally. I had this and one other bottle. The other bottle was fine. I just thought it was a bit expensive. I will say, we'll just cut to the chase. This is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Now, is that because Balcones or is that because it's a good store pick? I don't know. But I wanted to make this video because, man, do I ever just recommend this. One odd thing that I kind of ran into, though. I noticed the cork was not super loose. It was a little bit loose, and there was even a bit of the cork coming off on the inside of the neck of the bottle. And I actually fell on the whiskey a little bit, but I believe I got it all out. The reason I bring this up is because if I actually look on the back here, they say when it was distilled and when it was bottled. Now, it was distilled in 2017 and bottled in 2019. So does this mean that it was sitting on a Total Wine shelf for 5 years? Kind of a weird thing that it's just kind of an odd thing that I noticed, ran into. So I think the cork is just that old. Now, I also don't think that it was sitting on a Total Wine for 5 years because this is a Texas whiskey and they can't just leave things in barrels for too long because it just over oak, it'll ruin it, and it's all just going to go away for Angel Share. So I'm kind of guessing what really happened or what just happens is Balcones makes this stuff. They have to bottle it or else they're going to ruin the whiskey. And from there, they send out samples or they have people come and taste things. So maybe nobody picked this? And I'm quite shocked because, man, this is so good. I originally was actually going in, I was planning on maybe getting Still Austin Cask Strength. I really felt like a Texas whiskey. I only had just regular Balcones, and I absolutely adore it. It's so good, especially for the price. But I actually picked up the Cask Strength, just regular Still Austin, and I'm also always looking for single malts, specifically cask strength single malts. So there are Stranahan store picks there. I thought those were cask strength, but they actually aren't. So I just dropped that. And in the single malt section, I also found this guy. Now the regular single malt from Balcones is 53%, and it is also a bit pricey. I think it's like $60. I'm sure it'd be great for that price. In fact, I looked up plenty of reviews and people are very happy. But I want cask strength. So I saw this guy and I looked at my little basket that I think I had a cart. Looked at a basket, cart, whatever. And I came in for a Texas whiskey. I want cask strength single malts, and I'm getting more into American single malts. I want Texas. Oh, normally this is around $90 to $100. I have passed on it actually at that price before, but it's on sale for $66. So I went ahead and of course I just put this. I actually also had one of those Spirit Directs, which I know they have bad reputations too. This one was Scarabus. This is according to people online, the Reddit warriors. This Scarabus brand is one of the better of the Total Wine Spirit Directs. And the only reason I picked it up is it's a cask strength Islay. It was $50. I think that's totally worth pulling the trigger on, especially for me and my brother, who he in particular is not as into really dissecting a whiskey. He just likes to smoke. He loves the Isleys and he likes rye, and they kind of just taste great, or they don't, or they're okay. He's not gonna nerd out. He just doesn't nerd out like me. So What are you gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna do with him, essentially. Anyways, let's actually get over some of the stats, tasting notes. As I listed, this is distilled in 2017, bottled in 2019. It's 2 months and 2 years and 2 months old. Specifically looking at, they actually gave the specific dates here. It's also in European oak. That doesn't really mean anything to me, but hey, here's what it does. I will say, this tastes incredible. Like I said, also for 2 years, how dark it is. It's really, really something. That's Texas whiskey for you. And there was a 62.9% ABV one. This one's 64. Of course, I picked up the higher proof. And for how it actually tastes, it's very, very interesting. And this is what I wanted. I want something weird. It's toasted tropical fruits. There's cooked tropical, that yellow fruity, if you know what I mean by that. So that's going to be like apricots. It's like toasted pineapple, almost this waxiness to it. I don't know, my sister-in-law didn't really agree with me. I think there's almost like this maple pancake type note to it, but really just the tropical fruitiness, that cooked pineapple, the toasted, burnt, heavy, like tropical fruit, and man, is it good. And it's so unique. And I did bring quite a few whiskeys for this Thanksgiving vacation trip that I had back home. And I think you can probably tell, I only had this for a week there, and I did quite the dent on it. Man, it is good, and it was actually probably the best thing that I had in my box. Especially after I finished my Jack Daniel's Triple Mash, which I will do a whole video on Jack Daniel's, because they probably have become my favorite distillery. Crazy enough. I think other than that, I really just want to recommend this. Balcones has always been impressive. I did look up, after getting into this, I looked up quite a bit more about Texas distilleries. It seems to be, the general consensus is Balcones is the most unique and weird. I actually didn't know that when I first bought Balcones, and that's probably why I like them. But they're also probably just the weirdest because they're doing pot still and it's Texas. Now, since I do like Scotch, I probably don't mind that pot still as much, whereas I think a lot of bourbon drinkers are not used to it and they don't like it. So in terms of uniqueness, they apparently, like I said, once again, it's just according to people online when I'm doing my research, they might be the ones for me. Garrison Bros, I have tried stuff. I tried a store pick from them. It's good. But I think everyone knows the priciness of Garrison Brothers is pretty, it's a bit much. It's very prohibitive, unfortunately. But, you know, that's just supply demand. If they're doing alright, and they clearly seem to be, they will continue to do alright, and that's fine. The other big guys, obviously, are Still Austin, and Still Austin apparently is the most bourbon tasting Texas whiskey. I have tried Still Austin once. Yeah, I remember it being good. It was just a quick sample, though. It was also, I think, I had the cask strength, and it was like early in the morning when I tried it. So I remember probably not the best environment to make a judgment on it. I remember it being good. I think it didn't like wow me, and that's why I didn't buy a bottle. Although for only $50, I mean, you're really getting my kind of absolute limit for just pulling the trigger on something that I don't know a ton about is $40. It's my absolute limit. I preferably don't want to go higher than that. So for 50 on something like Still Austin, first of all, cask strength at 50, and then just Still Austin, which has a great reputation, it's not a bad price. Especially nowadays. I mean, I was just talking about Garrison Brothers. Like, this store pick that I tried, maybe like last year, was $185 for a 2-year-old whiskey. I think it was like 2 or 3 years old, and yeah, it was good. But I've had way better for way cheaper. So I need to come out with an outro, and I'm gonna steal this from a video that I just saw Not that long ago. Don't like, don't subscribe. Just exist.